because I feel like this will be a really beautiful one to take into the week as well, and for when you need rest at this kind of confusing time seasonally. And let's start our playlist together in 3, 2, 1, play. And just as your sound starts, or soundscape starts in the background, I invite you to just start to make your way towards your practice space. I'm actually going to take a couple of rolled up blankets. I have the luxury of having about 50,000 different props in my yoga space, but I appreciate that isn't the case for everyone. So just really utilize the space that you've got. And I want to start in seated because we're going to be laying down for so much of this practice. I think it's a good way to just allow us to start here. We've gathered this way. This is how we would sit in circle. And this could be a socks on practice as well, depending on how chilly your house is tonight. You might want socks on. And you're just going to bring yourself to close the eyes in your seated position when you feel ready to. Allowing the spine to lengthen. Shoulders to soften. Jaw to unclench. Face to soften. Body to settle. And everyone here is familiar with the art of yin, the practice of seeking stillness within spaces and places of stimulation that may even bring intensity and feelings of heat. Tonight, really, this is quite a cooling practice, one to aid the sleep, the dream space that you'll move into this evening. And so I'd love for us to just come to that coolness and that ease throughout the entirety of the practice. And it can start here and now with your breath. We can tap into our breathing to allow us ease. There's also a certain richness to the breath that wraps us in this cloak of relaxation, of reassurance. We certainly feel more regulated when we attach our mind, our thought space to the breath. And that connection can carry us through the practice this evening and beyond. So notice your breathing now and enhance it by breathing a little deeper into the belly. Inhale, exhale. And perhaps for you, sleep is a subject that feels a little tender. Maybe there's been lack of lately. Or maybe just generally in life, it's something that you're always seeking, that feeling of easefulness around sleep. Perhaps many of you or some of you here always find a certain ease and smoothness to the transference from being awake to being in sleep. can you allow the mind to settle on an intention and the heart to settle on that very same intention? Intention for this practice, a way in which you can keep your word to yourself even after practice is finished. And perhaps that's around how we go on in our evening after this. Perhaps it's a permission to allow ourselves access to deep rest and relaxation. And can you just start by gently bringing your bottom lip over the top lip and taking some jaw glides, so allowing the bottom jaw to slide from left to right, side to side. And in doing that and moving just gently that way, you start to feel like the top and bottom jaw, particularly at the point where they meet, just beneath the ears, starts to very subtly or quite intensely, depending on the tightness here, stretch, lengthen, move. And slow everything down in the face. Allow the chin to drop towards the chest. Let there be a heaviness and a relief that washes over the shoulders. And roll your chin up to the right shoulder. Breathing in, and as you exhale, let the chin release itself back towards the chest. Inhale to the left shoulder. Exhale. Moving from left to right. Gently side to side. And coming back to center with the chin. Lifting the chin away from the chest. Reach the hands to the sky. Take a deep breath in. And interlace your hands, interlace your fingers, push your palms towards the sky. Lift your chin away from the chest. Maybe take little side bends or big side bends from left to right, side to side. Coming back to the center, releasing your hands behind you, lacing your fingers together. Knuckles push down and away, open through the chest. And then gently releasing the hands. Our first pose, where we're going to hold stationary, is seated, straight-legged fold. So set this up for yourself however feels good. Anyone that's moving with hamstring stuff going on, bring support under the backs of the knees, let the legs extend. Bring yourself into forward fold, chin towards chest, head comes down and forward. Option to use any amount of props here to support your body as you curl into this forward fold. And I say the word curl, and I don't usually with a forward fold, but that's because we are allowing the spine to round here. Really what we're doing is actually just trying to discover the most amount of space that we can whilst being and maintaining a sense of relaxation. As you fold a little deeper, notice how your body begins to trust you and gives a bit more space, a bit more room. Softly, the sensation begins to dissipate, the intensity starts to gently drop off. And you are released into a space of heaviness. And when you meet that sense of being able to let go, keeping the breath steady, just keep allowing softness and ease to wash over you. You're here for a little while longer, finding the support for the body that needs it. Maybe it's the head, maybe it's the arms. Taking one more deep breath in. One more long, slow exhalation. A sign of release, letting go. And gently unravel the spine. Move any props out to one side as you gently bend your knees. Bring your feet to the earth. Roll onto the back. And as you arrive on your back, cactus the arms. The belly be soft, let the belly be full. And let the feet move to the edges of the mat. Gently sway your knees from left to right side. And just allow the lower back to release. And if there's any other gentle, subtle, small movements that feel really relieving to you here, bring them in. Slow it down. Whatever it is, slow it way down. Remember, we are seeking sleep here. The energy which we move with needs to mirror that. When you're ready to, hug the knees up towards you and give them a little squeeze. I'm going to go for a laying twist with the knees over to the right. Now you can use props here. For example, if you want something between the knees to support the sacrum and the pelvis a little more, this is really lovely. So if you bring like a bolster or some cushions, maybe blankets rolled up there, then you can. If you need your blanket over you now as well, as you're laying down, and perhaps you're on a colder floor, bringing that extra cover in. And just let the breath move. And let the breath soften. Feel in your mind's eye, feel into the left side of your waist. Visualize what's happening there as you feel and notice the rise and fall of the tummy. That expansion, that softness. We're here for a little while longer, making yourself as comfortable as you can in this space. Just allowing the back of the body to fully soften into the earth beneath you. There needs to be no holding. When we give ourselves permission to actually fully rest and fully let go, we're reminded of all the times that maybe, or some of the times where we perhaps knew that's what we needed and didn't give ourselves the opportunity to take rest, to take a pause. And just notice the ease that there is in carving out time that you know is a prerequisite to rest, to sleep. Slowly from here, take yourself back to the center, using and removing the prop from beneath, between the knees, gently tipping the legs over to the left. Take your time to arrive, same pose but on the other side, so twisting in the opposite direction. A really simple, subtle practice with great power and potency in the intention that we've set. As you twist in the opposite direction, begin to notice the heaviness of the legs, the right side of the waist and the belly. And keep allowing the breath to expand and soften in that place. You're here for a short moment longer. Again, bring yourself into that full surrender of the back body, allowing there to be heaviness. Permission to let go of any holding. As you breathe in, bring the knees back through to the center. If there's any prop between them, just gently moving it out to one side, and hug your knees, squeeze them in towards your chest, round your forehead, up towards your knees. So the back body has a curve that receives a gentle pressure from the earth beneath you, maybe a little rock, a little roll as you move through gentle massage sensation. And then start to move either to the wall, so you can bring your legs at the wall, or if you have perhaps a sofa or a bed nearby, you can place your legs up onto. You can, of course, take legs in the air pose. But as we're moving towards sleep, and the theme really and the intention is to be as restful and as heavy as possible, if you can have anything to support your legs, this is better than having them in the sky, in the air. Of course, as a last resort, if there is absolutely nothing you can use to support your legs, then use something under the hips to elevate the pelvis to create a gentle tip. Still a beautifully restful pose, just if done in the way that allows us this space of no holding, which can sometimes we can allow it to go unnoticed, that we are still gripping because it's so natural to us to have to hold. So just find yourself in a space where you can get really heavy, where you can still feel the work of gravity and the weight of your body combined, drawing you down towards the earth, supporting you there. And again, closing the eyes, maybe getting really comfy and cozy under a blanket. Maybe the eyes have remained closed for the entirety of this practice. I hope they have for you. And if they haven't, maybe they could stay closed from here on out. You can just give yourself the gift of not having to look around, search. Keeping the attention and awareness totally inward. Bringing the joy that comes with that. Meeting yourself in a space of tranquility, peace, solitude. And as you allow the breath to move through your body, you'll notice sensations happening in the feet, maybe the ankles, the calves, the lower leg. Pulsing, fizzing, tingling, almost pins and needles. Maybe there's even a sense of coolness around the feet and the toes, as the blood has more of a challenge to reach this space when we're tipped in this way. When we think about our journey to sleep, and we think about sleep as a whole, think about what it brings to us. That feeling of nourishment that you don't get the same feeling even from food or drink, connections, relationships, to love and be loved. This feeling of nourishment from a deep and healing sleep is like an entire overhaul of the body and every cell within it. When you receive such deep healing, almost feels like an honor. And if your rhythm and routine has this regularly in it, big, vast amounts of hours back to back, big, juicy chunks of sleep undisturbed, you know what it feels like to just allow yourself to let go. How in those deep moments of sleep, there is no gripping, no holding, no clenching. The body is soft, fluid, and easeful. Slowly allow the knees to bend and the legs to descend, feet to earth, however you need to get there. And notice the sensation that comes through the body as your legs lower. And there is no rush, so don't let it be rushed. There's so much time here with what I'm about to say, so know that you can just move really slowly. Imagine it is that sensation. You'll know this if you've ever, like me, woken up, or do like me, in the middle of the night. And you know you're so tired, the body's so heavy, and the mind tries to wake you. And so it's like that very minimal attention to the thoughts, an attention on the heaviness of the body. What's the body's signal to you right here and now in practice? And honor that, move towards that, rather than that of the busy monkey mind that's trying to tell you to go faster, move quicker, reorganize your shape better. Just be floppy, sloppy. Let yourself just roll around if that's what's needed. You're making your way onto your back for Nidra. And you may take this in bed if you're by bed here. You may take this on the floor, but are really supported by props that will make this more of a process, more of an experience, enhancing each sense as you go. So if you have something you can place in the palms of the hands, as I mentioned right at the start of class, this is where that will be useful. Definitely something over the eyes, even if that isn't an actual thing like an eye mask or an eye pillow, although it might be. And just be mindful, some of these eye pillows are really weighty. And there's actually a very specific weight at which the eye pillow should be. And it's so feather light that most of the eye pillows that I've come across so far, even intended for Shavasana or Nidra, are way, way too heavy for the eyeballs. And so I would love for you to find something light if that's possible, even if it is, like I said, a sock or the sleeve of a jumper. It's that light is the feeling on the eyes. And making sure that you can spread your arms and your legs out into that starfish shape on the floor that you're in without having them in contact with anything around you. Toes drop out to the side. Face softens, back of head is heavy. As you start to find your space to settle into, make any final adjustments now. Any niggles or wriggles that need to happen. And as you start to lay here and breathe, notice the body being here on the earth, the sensations that you feel. On the one hand, heaviness and weightedness, especially in the back of the body. And in the front of the body, lightness and ease. Notice your entire body here. And if you were stood outside of the body looking down onto it, what it would look like, what it does look like. The clothes that you're wearing, the position that you're in, the props that are supporting you here. Noticing your feet, both left and right foot, particularly the heel of the foot, which makes contact with the earth. Both heels heavy and relaxed. The knees, both left knee and right knee, both heavy and completely relaxed. Pelvis, the hip bones, the frontal hip bones, both left and right. This space is in complete surrender, entirely heavy and relaxed. The sacrum, base of spine, heavy on the earth beneath you. The entire rib cage, frontal ribs, side and back. So heavy and rooted. Heavy and relaxed. The backs and tops of the shoulders, both left and right side. This space so heavy and so relaxed. the left and right elbows. Really heavy and weighted here. Both elbows relax. Left and right wrist. Heavy and relaxed. The tips of the fingers. Completely heavy and relaxed. The back of the neck. Heavy and relaxed. The back of the head resting on the earth. The back of the head is entirely heavy, relaxed. Everything in the face, heavy, relaxed. Teeth unclenched, jaw soft. The entire body here is in complete surrender. Completely relaxed. Even the breath feels relaxed here. No forcing, no shaping. Just softness and ease. The entire body at ease. Notice the entire body here in the space that you're in. Observe how you feel as your mind comes back to consciousness and the body feeds back sensation. Allow the breath to softly deepen. You may even gently open the mouth and allow the breath to whisper out of the mouth on your exhale. Notice the subtle sensations and the more obvious ones. And keeping your intention close to the thought space and the idea that everything here is so slow, so smooth. A different practice tonight for us all. One where we get to explore the deeper layers of stillness and rest and what that means to each of us. Gentle movement through the fingertips and the toes. And don't make this movement too big. Keep everything subtle. You may gently draw the knees up and roll onto one side, bringing yourself into a little side lying curled fetal position. And from that space, slowly up to seated. Keeping the eyes closed, bringing the hands together in prayer. And when you get here, just pause and be really present with the thoughts, the feelings, the sensation in your body. Notice what's coming up for you, how you're left feeling right here and now. Bring your thumbs lightly to third eye. Take a bow together this evening of love, honor, and respect. Remembering that we are all connected. We are one. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you so much, yogis. Happy Sunday. Enjoy your sleep, your evening.